Yo, what up, YouTube? This your boy Mayo. Just in the studio right now. I'm in the vibe to cook up, so shoot, that's what we gonna do. I just grabbed me a loop off Splice. I'm gonna see if I can make something happen with it. Let's get it. As you can see, I use both FL and Logic when I cook up. At least most of the times, not all the time, but a lot of times I do. I like the drum programming in FL, and I've been using Logic for years. So in terms of like sequencing and using whatever effects, and just for efficiency, I still prefer to use Logic. By the way, if you ain't already on the hi-hat loops, I highly recommend you get on those. Whether you make your own or you grab them from somewhere else, it's definitely good for not just hi-hat loops, but loops in general. It's definitely good just for quickness. Like if you're trying to bang out a few joints at a time, definitely good for that. And then you could just add your own sounds on top of it and make it make sense. I usually like to start with at least like one melody, and then kind of build the drums around that, and then go back in and add some more keys on top of the melody. Nothing significant to it. That's just how I like to work. By the way, I am not a mix engineer. I do mix a little bit, just enough to get the point across. But for the most part, I just like to push my ideas out on the creative aspect, and then have somebody mix it from there if it turns into something that we do want to get placed or we do want to push ourselves. Also, if y'all have any questions, just feel free to hit me up either in the comment section or on IG. I got my IG handle in the description below, and either way, I'll definitely respond if you got any questions. I like this vibe because it's like y'all really in the studio with me. When we like when I be in the studio like with a bunch of other people or with a couple other people, it really just be one of us at a time working on a track, and then it be just everybody else standing around socializing, or you know, modern day socializing, which is like just being on your phone. I feel like nowadays, man, it's a lot of people out here making beats. I don't know if it's always been that way or if it's just a thing now, but it's definitely a lot of people out here making beats. I think it's really cool when you get to just sit and watch somebody that has been in a position where you want to be, and you kind of get the vibe with them. That's actually how I learned. Watching people in the studio who had already made a name for themselves and had resumes, and just sitting in the studio watching them, and it was never like, you know, they never were doing anything that I wasn't doing, but just to be in there and see that, oh wow, like I'm making a track just like Brian Michael Cox making a track, I'm making a track just like Troy Taylor making a track. It's a cool experience to see that, and it's reassuring too. That's like, okay, you know, this person ain't doing anything different than I am. They're just spewing out their ideas, and I'm just spewing out my ideas. So it's a cool thing. The person I actually let me see, the very first person I learned from that was actually like in the industry, was Troy Taylor. I met Troy when I was in ninth grade, and I began learning from Troy, just sitting in the studio watching him record other artists, and then just seeing how he pieced music together from a production standpoint. When I moved out to Atlanta, I got in the studio with a lot of people. Just even just being with Troy, I remember we went to the studio one time at Doppler. That's when B Cox had a room at Doppler, and we just sat in there and watched him make a beat. And this had to be like 2010, and I just remember, like, man, just watching him vibe, do his thing. It was always dope because it's like, dang, he making, like, this is B Cox. This is, you know what I mean? This is a superhero in the production world. So to see him making a beat was a good feeling. But I remember Troy, looking at Troy and be like, see, he does the same thing you do. Like, he's not doing anything different than you do. So that was like a cool feeling. Like, yeah, he's not. Like, he's just worked his butt off to get to where he is by doing the same thing that I'm already doing. So if I just work my butt off, then I can get in the same position, or, you know, even better, or slightly, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can get in that same arena. So it was definitely inspiring, to say the least. I love this VST right here, but when I start going through too many sounds, sometimes it'll close down the whole session. So I ain't even want to risk that. I had to eventually make sure I switch the sound up and go to one of my other go-tos, which is, of course, Omnisphere. I'm sure everybody out there know what that is. Thing about making beats, man, it's dope to be able to like mimic people and stuff. That shows real like good control over, you know, just knowing what you're doing in terms of program, in terms of sounds and stuff like that. But one thing about making beats, man, and any other thing you do in life, is definitely be original. Have the ability to be original. When somebody says, you know, I want to hear what you got, you know what I mean? It's not always about pulling out a Metro Boomin beat. It's not always about pulling out a Take Keith beat, or pulling out something, you know what I mean, Bryson Tiller style. I know a lot of people be like, yo, let me need a Bryson Tiller beat. You know, always be able to do that, because like I said, that shows control. When you can mimic, that shows control over what you can do. And it's, you know, it takes talent to be able to mimic other people's style. But always have your own thing. Always have your own voice, whether you're a producer, you're a speaker, you're a rapper, whatever it is you're doing. Always make sure you have your own voice. Better yet, always make sure you use your own voice, because we all have our own voices. So make sure you use your own voice. Sorry if I'm talking too much, man. I just be getting ideas. Oh, by the way, always make sure you save your sessions, like, frequently. I can't tell you how many beats I done had crash on me that I'll never be able to get back because I just was too lazy to hit Apple save, command save, whatever it is. Honestly, I think the part that takes me the longest when it comes to going through beats is going through sounds. Sheesh. I mean, for the most part, I be having like my go-to sounds, but you know, you always want to make sure your sound just like matches like perfectly, so, or at least, you know what I mean, like enough to where it's not like bothering you every time you listen to it. I hate listening to songs when I don't like the sounds in it. Like, that's a huge deal for me. By the way, any beats I make on here live will be definitely be open to the public. If you want to use them for your, you know what I mean, like free download type thing, they'll definitely be available for that. If you want to write to them, record to them, whatever, send them back, whatever you got going on, man. Just, you know what I'm saying, keep me in the loop. I definitely want to hear what everybody's got going on. So, I mean, if y'all enjoying yourselves, man, if y'all having a good time or just enjoying the vibe or listening to the vibe, enjoy the beat, whatever it is, man, definitely engage. Keep me involved. Let me know. I definitely want to hear from y'all. Now for the sequencing. I usually sequence my beats a lot the same. I kind of got real like pretty like robotic with it, almost, not like completely, but you know, you just kind of learn your patterns, you learn your niches, and like what do you like and how to make certain things sound. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just pretty much doing like an intro, verse, hook type thing, copy paste, and then after that I just edit the second verse. Always make sure the second verse sounds different than the first verse. But that's pretty much it, man. Sequence it out, and then once I get a couple of verses, then it's pretty much a done deal. Now, learning under Troy Taylor, it was always like it was dang near like a rule, like you better put a bridge on your tracks, because Troy Taylor come from an extremely R&B background, so bridges were a thing. But I always hated bridges. If I was a student at TTU, which is like Troy Taylor University, doing bridges to me was like writing papers or like doing homework. I was not feeling it. I just like to get the beat done, get the idea out, and then like just, you know what I mean, just ease my way through the third verse. For the most part, I always used to have the excuse like, oh, well, I'm gonna have somebody rap on it type thing, and that never usually happened. I didn't start doing rap music for a long time. But to follow up on that, I will say I have gotten quite a few placements just doing like a couple verses type thing, just like doing some rough ideas, just because like it's really based off of like who's writing your songs. Like, and when I started working with Eric Bellinger, it was too easy. Like, hey man, let's do 2 verses real quick, maybe do a breakdown for the third verse, and then just get it done real quick. It always made sense, especially nowadays. You know, songs are a lot shorter than they used to be. People's attention span ain't really the craziest. I was just listening to a Lil Pump record today, man. Like, I'm talking about hook, verse, hook, done. The whole thing done. The music video 2 minutes, and the music video got a little thing at the beginning. Like, so the song is under 2 minutes, which is cool though, man. Cause man, like I said before, everybody out here making music, man. Don't nobody want to be sitting around listening to hours and hours of music, man. Like, let's just get a little vibe, get a little vibe, a new vibe or whatever, and then move on to the next. Or if we like it that much, we'll play it back, run them streams up. track. Like I said, I'm just really getting the intro, the verse, the hook, and then what I'll do is I'll duplicate that and make some adjustments to the second verse. Put the hook on there, maybe put a little outro on there, and then just wrap it up, give a quick bounce, and that's pretty much it. But man, I definitely appreciate you guys tuning in. Definitely, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, comment, like, follow me on IG, communicate with me. I'll definitely talk back. Let me know how y'all feeling, man. It's definitely been a good time with you guys, and I'll see you next time. So have a good one. Peace.